All right, we're going to go over the Delta College Power Racing software. And the first thing to do is to plug the USB cable into the laptop, which connects the laptop to the M&S power monitoring box, the black box. If you don't have the USB cable plugged in, then when you launch this program, you'll see a dialog button box that says, "Error, unable to connect to the data acquisition unit." If you stop the program and then plug the cable in and then rerun it with this arrow right here, run, then it will connect to the power monitoring box and you'll be okay. If you don't have it connected, you have the option of running in simulation mode, which we'll do right now for this tutorial. And right now, the data is going to be simulated so that when we hit the race button, we'll see data coming in that is not real. It's just a simulation of people pedaling on the bicycles. So first thing, go to the school and classes. Right now we have Delta College as a school and School 2. If we want to add a new school, we'll hit Add New School or the F1 button. And the new school's name, you can call it School 3. And so we can see right now that there's 0 classrooms under School 3. So let's add a new class. Rogers first hour. And we can hit F2 or click on the button again. I'll say Houston second hour. And let's do Williams first hour. So now we have a total of 3 different classes under this school. So when we hit this button, it shows these 3 classes. Delta College has 4 classes. So let's see School 3, or let's click on Delta College Class 3, Class 1, and we can start a race for this classroom. The next thing we'll do is check the race time. Right now it's set for 30 seconds. For this demo, I'll set it for 3 seconds so we can have more races accumulate. So hit race, start race, you hit F3 or hit this button, start race. And right now we have Racer 19 and Racer 20, or you can add Johnny, or you can use names of superheroes like Green Lantern, so the kids are anonymous, and hit OK. This is the start screen. It's a dragster race. And so now we see data coming in. We see the average watts, the peak, and the 50. And we know that the Green Lantern won with an average wattage of 97. We know this by the fact that the average watch is ending on 97. Right here is 95, right here is 100. You can change the range just by clicking on this. So if I hit 95, enter, you can see that make this 100 or 90, 98. This is not required, this is optional, but you can see how the average trend went and stopped right here at around 97. And the watts is also shown, so real-time wattage or the watt hours. It hit about 0.1 watts in this time. Here's the volts and the amps and the calories. So this is how much calories that was spent making this power. This is optional. This is not required to change this. You can leave it on average watts for now. We can start another race, Racer 21, 22. Showing right here time remaining 2, 1, 0, and the race is done. So again, this is another race we just did, and If we go to school and classes now, we can see that there's a class summary for class 1. And right now we can see that Racer 22 had an average wattage of 123, and Racer 8. So it's showing on the graph over here their average throughout the time period. So this is 11-second race. This was a 3-second race. Typically, you want to keep the race times the same, depending on how many kids are in the class and how much time there is for the kids to do the race. But 30 seconds will be the default. So this is also an option where you can save data and export this to somewhere on the computer, like a temp folder. I'll just call this Delta Class 1 results.txt. So now I'm going to export the data from this table right here into a text file that says Delta Class 1 results.txt. And that is a tab delimited text file that can be brought into Excel. And we'll hit OK. Now when we go to that part of the hard drive, C drive temp, so we can see right here Delta Class 1, here's our file. We can open it in text, and we have the data from that table. Plus we also have the path to each racer. So if you wanted to look at the raw data for each race, you can go to the MNS Power folder right here, and that's located right here. So all data is saved in this folder, MNS Power, and the schools, and then under each school you have the classrooms. Class 1. So here's all the data from all the racers, individual racers. The first column is the race time. So this race had 11 seconds, and it counts down. So it's the time remaining in the race. This person did not do any pedaling at all. Here's what it looks like when there's data in it. This is watts, and this is time remaining in the race. So this was a 3-second race, and normally you want to go 20 or 30 seconds for the kids to have a good time and have a chance to put out some power. So the data for the class is about 4. If you average all the averages of this column, average watts, the average wattage is 42 watts. And then the races, there's 22 rows, and the total watt hours is 2.1 watt hours. And now if we hit close, we can see the school summary, top 10 within the school. So this is called school results. Again, you have the school here, you have the number of classes, the racers, and then you have the average watts. For all these values of this column, average watts, we average these averages to get this average. And then total watts is 2.1. And again, you can go through and look at each person's results, or you can hold the shift key down and shift click, shift click, shift click. You can see results from multiple runs on the same graph, which is pretty cool. If you want to just pick Racer 22 and then Racer 6, you can use the control key. The control key will let you select different individuals. The shift key will let you choose a range of individuals. If you just want to see the top 10, click on the top 10 checkbox right here. And again, you have the same watts, watt hours, volts, amps, and calories. You have the option to export the data just like we did before, and that will be a tab delimited text file the same way. So for now, you can close the window two ways. You can hit the close button or you can hit the X button. Either way will close it. And for the top 10 all time, it's a similar screen, all time top 10, show top 10 only. And this has 3 schools, a total of 6 classes, 28 racers, and here's the average of all these averages and the total watt hours. All right, so other than that, these other tabs are used for diagnostics and calibration. These settings should not need to be changed once you start racing and using the system. This is another diagnostic debug screen showing raw data coming in from the power monitoring box. This is just showing some paths that we use in the software. And system information, this is showing the parts of the system where the red box is the data acquisition unit, which the USB cable goes to. The green circuit board are the current sensors, which monitor how much current is flowing from each bike generator plug through the resistors. So this is a diagram showing, the basic parts of the monitoring system. The main menu has all the function buttons as well. F8 is also shown up here as main menu, F1 schools, F2 classes, F3 race, and F4 class standings. So there is some flexibility here on which way you access the different screen. You can use tabs or you can use the function keys. That concludes the tutorial. Thanks for looking.